Welcome to Animal Football Insider, your weekly look into the happenings of your Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Florida Gators, and all things related to football. And now, from West Des Moines, Iowa, here's your host, The Animal.
I gotta tell you something. Every time I hear this song, and when I heard it Saturday night at the Swamp, yes, it was a tear that was in my eye, knowing that it was the final game of the season. It was really just a sad case to see the way the Gators ended the 2023 season. But you know what, guys? There are better days ahead for this Florida Gator football team. I'm telling you, things are just beginning, and they are only just going to get better. Hello there, everybody. You're sure the Animal welcoming you to this edition of the Animal Football Insider. I got so excited, forgot to put on my hat here. My Gator hat, of course. And coming at you live from the very cold confines of West Des Moines, Iowa. We think we got a pretty good show for you tonight. We're going to have it open-ended, talk about anything you want, including whatever's on your mind. We got NFL football coming up in a few minutes with the Dallas Cowboys playing at home. We'll give you updates on what's happening there. There's a lot of news coming outside of college football. We're going to get into that, recruiting, and things of that nature. What's my other thing? And of course, Lucas Demana Gator, my recruiting guru guy who sees all, knows all. Lucas must have, his thing, here's the thing about Lucas, which I really love. Lucas is one of these smart guys. I swear, I think he has a bugging device inside the recruiting offices. Because most of the time, his information is so good. I mean, it really is. And we'll talk to him. He has some breaking news going on right now. And of course, there's an elephant in the room, and we'll get to discussion on that. But I gotta tell you, before we begin, I'm really not tonight. I know what you're thinking. I know, but yeah, not myself tonight. Because you see, I went to Columbia, Missouri a couple weeks ago to see the Florida Gators play, and I had a great time. And if I didn't get the opportunity, I want to thank my good friend Ben Strassi. We took his car. He drove the whole way. We stayed at the Gators Hotel. We got a lot of great pictures, and we were able to talk to a lot of people, including people like Billy Napier. Nice guy. Just really down to earth. And I really love Billy Napier. And then got a chance to meet Rick. What's his last name? He's the director of communications for the Florida Gators, and I really want to get him on sometime because he has a great story about himself, and he served in our military, and her that's the name, director of communications for the Florida Gators, and I had a very nice conversation. Great guy, and had a very nice conversation with him, and then we talked about a number of things. And I really want to get him on sometime because I really would love for people to get the inside to what it's like. Not only working with the Florida Gators, but it's like working with Billy Napier and the players themselves. So hopefully sometime we can get that. But while we wait for that, there's a lot of things that's going on. Coaches leaving, possible coaches coming. We've already seen some that happened 2 days ago. Another off-field staffer left the team today. Um, and while that is going on, the transfer portal is getting in full operation. He's not a doctor, but he's always in operation 24 hours a day. He's like the Adam Schefter of college recruiting. I mean, just a phone, just has that phone in his ear all the time. Lucas, what are you doing? You're in the damn. Okay, well, Lucas, Lucas, you need Lucas. Hi, can you see me? Put the phone down, will you, buddy? Okay, I'm fixing to bring you on. You can't be like Adam Schefter with the phone in your ear. Okay, there you go. Okay. There we go. As we
Shit.
bring him on.
What's up,
It's just
buddy?
amazing. You're just getting more and more stories, aren't you? Huh?
What's up, buddy? First of all, I know why you brought me on here, so let's get to it.
Let's get to it because there's a lot of news that is breaking. Start with the two coaches who were relieved of their duties on Monday night.
Corey
Sean
Raymond,
Spencer and a surprising coach in Corey Raymond.
Corey Raymond, but I've heard. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. This for Corey Bender Gators Online. We should hear something by this time next week. I don't know, but I do know that. But I don't know names, so don't ask. But I do know that the deals are already the deals are already agreed to, but contracts aren't finalized yet. But we should hear something by next week as far as the coaches go.
And one of the names that's being flown out there is Chris Partridge, who's a uh,
He's
defensive guru. I forget where he coached at, but I hear he's got a
Pittsburgh,
good
but
reputation.
for,
Pittsburgh, yeah. I hear he could be a great acquisition,
for
but
people
we
that
have
are
no
trust.
we have no names. I want to clarify right now. We have no names at this time. We're just hearing things in the world. We're just like we're hearing a lot of things coming out the transfer portal. We already know that Will Norman has decided he wants to leave. We also know
Him
that
mostly back. I don't
yeah,
know.
and Caleb Douglas, he also put his name in the transfer portal. But we got some good news with the defensive lineman opting to return.
Cam Jackson.
Yeah,
He was he announced yesterday he was planning to return. That's big for the offensive line, and you're gonna see like 50. I heard 15 to 20 people, 15 to 20 players are gonna hit the portal because right now
yeah.
we don't even have room to sign the recruiting class that we're supposed to sign.
Exactly, and that's for those that are trying to understand how this transfer portal operates, it's quite simple. A lot of guys do not feel like they're getting a lot of playing time, so they'll put their name in the portals to go to other teams. We've already seen that Caleb Douglas, Will Norman, and another guy whose name skips
Kamari
me.
Wilson.
Well, now that one is it's not happening tonight. High Top Sports is reporting that Kamari Wilson is indeed not going to enter his name in the transfer portal. But look, as we all know, things can fluctuate on a dime. So
Yeah, because you never know. It's
we
with
never
this.
know. And just like Trevor Etienne, the elephant in the room, who's the star running back for the Florida Gators, we're hearing rumors of him possibly leaving to go
The
to put
portal.
his name in the transfer portal. But according to Nick Delatorre, he met with Billy
No,
Napier
that
on
was
Tuesday.
Zach Alberti. Zach Alberti.
No. I also heard it through Nick Delatorre. So he was on the show with High Top this morning, and he's reporting that there was a
Oh,
meeting
that was last night.
with
I heard that for Zach.
yeah. So whether it be Zach or Nick, the bottom line is there was indeed a meeting with Trevor trying to get him to stay. Now we're just gonna have to see whether or not that is going to happen.
And I
Um,
also heard this is breaking news for different sources that Montreal Johnson is leaning towards staying next year.
mhm, right. Right, I've heard that story. The Montrell Wilson, the other running back for the Florida Gators, is going to stay next year. We're hearing that Michael Mazuka, I believe that's his name.
He'll
We're
go
going
to
to
the
look at.
NFL.
He's going to go to the NFL. Who else? There's another guy that I heard. I don't know who you might have heard.
Um, like I said, 15. You're gonna see
Yeah,
15.
we're gonna hear a lot of names coming in and out of the portal. Make no mistake about it.
The
But
portal
as
opens Monday, so you're between now and
it's
between
like
now.
it's like it's like everything is just fluctuating on.
It's like
Um,
speed dating.
yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Oh, here's something that's breaking, courtesy of on3.com. They are being told that the NCAA discovered that the University of North Carolina has illegally used NIL money and attempted to get their quarterback May to return for his junior year at uh, at North Carolina.
Ooh, that's a big
So
no. That's a big
that
no.
that well that is a big story too, because if you read some of the chat rooms, they're saying, let's offer ETN a lot of money for him to stay, which of course they can't do, but just just saying that, gives people the it gives them the image in their head that we were paying ETN to stay. That's not, and I want to clarify something, that it's not what we're doing. That's not what Billy Napier's doing. Okay, so we've always seen where he's making moves with Sean Spencer, Corey Raymond's gonna go.
And
Jacob
like I
Rudner's
said,
reporting.
like I
Jacob
said,
Rudner's Jacob Rudner of 247 is reporting that Mark Hoke, the strength and conditioning coach, is going to stay. I mean, I don't think I don't know about that. Seeing how Gators got pushed around too many times, I don't see how Hoke can stay.
hockey. I think hockey is gonna stay.
Hockey,
Which
hockey, yeah, yeah. And I met him too. I met him too at the hotel, and great guy. So but and I don't have any complaints about that. It's just you know we were being manhandled during the later part of the year. Now, I don't know if you attribute that to hockey and the way he done his strength and conditioning, or just the fact that these guys were not playing up to their potential. I mean, it can work one of two ways. So I mean,
yeah,
I
sorry.
don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know really what you expect from that aspect. Does Chris Couch stay?
Uh, I heard that for Zach Alverdi, we're gonna get a new special teams coach. So
Uh huh.
my
Okay.
guess is
Yeah. What now? Earlier on in the season, you and I had this, and you and I had this discussion plenty of times. The need for an offensive coordinator, and there's debate. There's plenty of debate to talk about this. But to be fair about it, these last 5 games, even though the Gators lost those games, they were scoring in high numbers. The
it was
28, the
yeah.
30, the 35, the 37. I mean, they were actually scoring points. And I wonder if maybe Billy Napier finally has gotten the offense under control to what he wants it to be. I don't know.
Yeah. I still heard that we're gonna hire an OC.
It's gonna be definitely interesting to see what happens. Portal opens up next week. Do you see any surprises coming up in the next few days when the port now for those that don't know, how long is the portal open for?
I want to say 15 to 30 days.
Okay, all right, okay.
I don't really
Uh,
know. Yeah.
I'll have to Google that a little bit later on. Okay. Well, we're gonna find out. About ETN and several other people. Something gonna happen tomorrow. We
We'll
don't
find
know.
out.
We're
We'll
gonna
find.
we're gonna
All I
find
do
out.
know, all I do know is they did have a meeting with ETN to try to get him.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Keep us updated on recruiting, and when we do when the Gators have their show on the 20th, I may be here, may not be here.
That's
We'll
my
find out.
birthday, so I might not be here.
Your birthday falls on signing day, early
Yep.
national signing day.
Yeah. Early signing
Wow,
days.
wow, what a great Christmas present, Lucas. Thank you very much, and on behalf of Animal
No, I might
Football
not. I
Insider,
might not be able to join you. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see
we'll
how
see
that.
what happens. We'll see what happens. Lucas, thank you so much, and on behalf of Animal Football Insider, sincere condolences for you on the loss of your mom. So,
The
a
grandmother.
grandmother. Yeah. So,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much for joining me. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot. Lucas the Man Gator joining me. You know what? I just saw something here. Uh, I just now saw something here. Let's see here. See if I can't do this. Okay, and I got myself on YouTube. Let's see, I forgot to put myself on YouTube and also on Facebook. I don't know why. So I forgot that happened. So Lucas the Man Gator, he's gonna join me here in a couple of minutes. Hopefully I'm on. Hopefully I'm on right now. There we go. Yep, I'm on Facebook Live. Woohoo! Hi. So I'm finally on. So there we go. So Lauren Meadows is supposed to join me a little bit later on in the show, and maybe we can get a surprise from maybe a guy named Scotty Lutz who works with High Top Sports. Give us an update on what's going on. But I gotta tell you, watching the game over the week this past weekend. I mean, I was really intrigued by some of the conference championship, well, semi games that we saw. Ohio State, Michigan, that was a barn burner indeed. I mean, that was one of those games where it was like, oh my, you know, and I. I kind of felt like that maybe Ohio State was going to pull it out, but Michigan just did a great job, and they were able to win the game. I was really impressed with the way that, for the most part, with the Gator game, I felt like that this Florida Gator team in the first half, they came out and played strong. They played a great game in that first half. No question in my mind about it. And I know you can question about my mind, but um, um, it was such a great first half. And then Florida State made changes, and Florida could never adapt. The offense got stagnated in the fourth quarter. Some crappy officials who were not calling the game like it should have been, played in a factor. But mostly with the Gators not being able to overcome um, their deficits or their issues. And in the end, it costed them. I believe 24-15 was the final score for the Florida Gators. Um, oh, and one more thing too that we forgot to mention: Graham Mertz announced today that he is coming back for the senior year. The other guy that we talked about that was putting his name in the transfer portal, Max Brown, the quarterback who played in the game on Saturday night. And I got to tell you something. For a kid making his first start, I was extremely impressed with Max Brown. I thought that he played as good of a ball game as he possibly could have played. And I always felt like that once once Max gets some playing time under his belt, he's gonna be really good. Whoever gets Max Brown, it's gonna get one hell of a quarterback. Make no mistake about it. And I just think that he did everything that he could to win the game. You know, in the ball game, he was only but here's the thing: he was 9 of 16 for 86 yards. Trevor Etienne ran the ball 10 times for 44 yards. Montrell Johnson Jr. had 18 carries for 110 yards on the day. Eugene Trey Wilson with 3 receptions for 36. That is going to be a player to watch for years to come, people. God willing, he stays at Florida. He is going to be the next Ricky Pearsall. I have no question in my mind about that. Let's see. Hayden Hansen got caught one ball for 24 yards. I met his mom at the hotel. We had a very nice conversation. Nice lady, and just had a very nice conversation. Ricky Pearsall, who surprisingly in the game only had one catch for just 17 yards on the day. Just one catch. What a way for him to go out. Rodemaker, who replaced Travis Jordan, 12 of 25, 134 yards. But guess what? He was sacked 3 times on the day by the Florida Gator defense. Oh, and by the way, just to be fair about it, Max Brown, he was sacked 6 times on the day. Ugh. So, I mean, say what you will, but that was on that second half, it just went downhill. By the way, I forgot to tell you that Animal Football Insight is brought to you by the fine people at Carpet Direct. If you have any carpeting needs, give my good friend Benton Taylor a call. Be more than happy to set you up and get you pretty good deal. I will tell you that there's a logo. You know what? Let me break out here for just a second. Can't do that. That yeah, Benton Taylor does a great job. I understand that he's pretty busy. Has appointments into April right now. So you need some new carpeting here in Des Moines, Iowa area. You better give my friend a call, and you need the number. Hook me up in the chat room, and I will be able to help you out. As I said tonight, it's open forum. We'll talk about the Florida Gators. We'll talk about the Buccaneers. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks are playing in Dallas. Dallas is pretty has run it down the field. They're fixing to score here in just a minute with the first opening drive, and so that's what's going on there. Twitter's been hot and heavy today with a lot of news. Let's see here. We told you about Jared May of North Carolina being sued. Well, no, he illegally used. North Carolina. The school used illegal NIL money to get May to return for his junior year at UNC. And a lot of people are saying that the transfer portal is the worst thing that's happened to college football. I don't think that's true. I think that the transfer portal's been just fine. People are going to leave because they don't like to play. They don't like the situation that they're in, and because of that, they find themselves wanting to go to other schools. But are they gonna are they gonna get the playing time? Okay, this just in today. This is actually 6 hours ago. Sebastian Callaway. Let's see, on three. Let's see if this is a true story. Okay, all right, all right. On Twitter, what they're doing is they're making these reports come out, and then when you click on it, it's a meme, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so people are starting to put things out there about Florida that are actually not true. Okay, um, now this NIL money deal that looks to be a true story. Uh, Drake May, you know, that's who the players in question right now. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more on that story. Um, Ron Meadows is supposed to join me here in just a little bit, and also on what's going on with the transfer portal and everything else that's happening inside the world of the Florida Gators and anything else that's happening with football. So he'll be joining me a little bit later on in the show. Now, as far as Graham Mertz, he announced today that he is staying. That's big. That's big for the Florida Gators. Because when you think about it, with Mertz coming back and DJ Lagway being signed when the signing date comes on December 20th, what's going to happen is that Lagway will sit behind Mertz for a year and get him comfortable with the going on with the day-to-day things that happen inside a college football team, which I think is smart. I think that's fantastic. Okay, and I think Lagway is plenty open to that. Lagway has announced Lagway. That is one commitment that has truly held firm. Okay, Xavier Filsami, who I believe is a wide receiver, he's also held firm on his commitment. In fact, when the news broke of Sean Spencer and Corey Raymond, a lot of people were wondering what's going to happen with these recruits. Are they going to stay? Majority of the recruits who have been dedicated to Florida have said they remain committed to Florida, that they're not going anywhere. Now, whether that's true or not, it's going to be an interesting story. Now, one of the things you're going to see, one of the things that you're going to see happen is that you're going to see a lot of people go into the transfer portal, and some of them may be surprising. It may be even ETN that goes into the transfer portal. Don't get upset about it, because like Lucas was saying earlier, you know, you have to have, in order to sign your recruiting class, you have to have a certain number of people. You can only have so many on your roster. So by some of these guys hitting the transfer portal, it gives the opportunity for Napier to sign these recruits and send them and give them the opportunity. Okay. Iced tea, love iced tea. Gold Peak's iced tea, guys. If you want some great tasting iced tea, no better than Gold Peak iced tea. And I tell you what, it is so good. It reminds me of my mom's tea. Okay. Anybody that knows me and knew my mom, she made the best iced tea around, hands down. So that's what I'm drinking here tonight. Trying to get this bunion that's on my foot. Have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so hopefully that goes well. And if not, then question comes in whether or not I'll be able to go to Florida or not. But back to the Gators and what's happening. When you look at what's happening with their situation right now, um, you know, back to back 5-7 seasons. They haven't had that in what 40 years, something like that. And people are they're gonna bitch. They're gonna complain. They're gonna say fire Billy Napier. Here's an interesting fact that I did not know until Did some research earlier. Did you know that Billy Napier has a 7-year contract? Not a 5-year deal, 7-year deal. Now, Scott Strickland's not an idiot. He knows that this whole situation is one big mess. And Scott Strickland knows it. And for everybody that's saying that it's Scott Strickland's fault, I would tell you that Scott Strickland has done everything he could to bring in the best people available. Okay? AKA Chip Kelly, And look what's happened, and look how that turned out. So I would argue with you that I think that the Scott Strickland, he may have not done the best with coaches. That he's tried, but I think he finally hit the gold mine with Billy Napier, and he knew that this team was in a mess, and they needed time to get out of it. When you bring on a head coach, you better expect him to be here for 4 to 5 years to get this thing in motion. What happened this year? Yeah, you can place some of the blame on Billy Napier. Sure you can. He's a head coach, But where's the player's responsibility in all this? I had I went down for breakfast day after the game in the hotel, and I ran into a couple of Florida Gator fans, and when talking to the people, a lot of people forget that we were playing 9 to 10, 11, 12 freshmen on both sides of the ball. Okay, freshmen and sophomores. And as I told the guy that, and it's like, well, how many games do you need? They've already played 9 games. Are you serious? 9 games, it's just getting you comfortable, and it's just getting you comfortable into things. You are taking, when these kids go from high school to college, okay, it's like you're taking them out of the blue collar neck of the woods and putting them into executive office positions right away. Boom, just throwing them in there, letting them learn as they go. And for a lot of freshmen and sophomores, that's what these people are doing. They are learning as they go. And I don't mind that. Because with experience, with playing experience now, it's going to pay off for them down the road. Okay? Napier is laying his foundation. He is laying down his foundation. He knows what he wants to do, and he knows how to do it. Now, I'm not satisfied with what happened this past year. I'm not. Okay. I understand what he's trying to do. And I felt like maybe there were some things that he could have done better. It's typically with our strength and conditioning and Mark Hoke, who I feel like, or Hockey, well, however you say his last name, I apologize for that. But when you look at what he has done, we were seeing guys that were getting knocked around on the field during the latter half of the season. And as Sean Kelly pointed out to me in the interview that we did in Columbia, that the talent, the level of talent has been much better than the early part of the year, which it has been. It showed. It definitely showed. Now, is that to say that Hockey didn't do his job right? Is that to say that these guys were weaklings? Or was it just a situation where they were just not prepared to take on this upper level talent? There's a lot of debate with that, But here's the thing about it. Now that the season is over with and everybody's relaxing, taking a deep breath, and just stepping back before they begin off-season workouts, they understand what they have to do. They understand what they have to do if they're going to become a successful team in the SEC. And look, the schedule in the SEC next year, it's brutal. Okay. I'm told that there's supposed to be a SEC show, which will announce the 2024 schedule. I don't know when that is. I saw it earlier, and see if I can find it here. It was on my Facebook. It was on. Okay. Let's see. December 13th. Courtesy of Gator Nation Squad. Um, the full Florida schedule for 2024 football schedule will be revealed on the SEC network at 7 o'clock on December 13th. So that's going to be interesting. Dates and times will be announced later, but that's what we have um, coming up. So that's going to be interesting to see what the 2014 um, 2024 schedule coming up. Look at the main Gator announced that both the defensive back and defensive line coaches have already been agreed upon. And here's something also to keep in mind. Okay, and somebody, if we did have a defensive coordinator by the name of Tony, and he left. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see. Who was it? Um, let's see here. Okay. Austin Armstrong came in midway through the off season. He got hired on February 27th. Okay. Um, Patrick Tony, that's his name. Okay. Um, if you remember, Tony left the Gators to go to he left the Gators um, to go to the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, so that left the hope for Austin Armstrong to come in now. Now, why are we mentioning that? It's because Armstrong was stuck with Tony's guys. He couldn't bring in his own set of people. Let's remember that now. While we're sitting here and blaming the defense, let's also remember too that Tony left at the end of February. So right after part two of National Signing Day, went to the Arizona Cardinals. So Napier had to bring in Austin Armstrong, but he had to have Patrick Tony's guys. Now Armstrong has the chance to bring in his own people. Okay. That is something that people do not forget. That's something that people do not remember. So, Cowboys just scored. Gonna be 10-7 here in just a minute. Less than 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Yours truly, the Animal. This edition of the Animal Football Insider brought to you by the fine people at Carpet Direct in Des Moines, Iowa. And I gotta tell you, for the most part, I like some of the things that Austin Armstrong was doing. There were some things that I didn't like, and it just made. Hang on. Oh no. Oh no. Guys, we talk about how the portal's been hot and heavy. Okay. All right. This is just breaking news that has come to me right now. I am just shocked. I'm just flabbergasted by this. I'm telling you, people, this is something I just did not see coming up. Let me see if I can find it because I want to bring it up here just so you people can see. I mean, I'm just shocked by this. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Here we go. It's breaking news. Albert T. Alligator, the University of Florida mascot, will reportedly enter the transfer portal. I am just so I'm just so I'm shocked. I really am. I'm just shocked. that that's how that's how much of a joke. Well, I don't want to say joke, but that's how much these reports on Twitter have become. Okay, with all this talk of different players going, you see something happen, just like I thought I saw with Trevor Etienne, but it turned out to be a clickbait or whatever you want to call it. Oh, good lord, man! What the heck is wrong? What the heck is wrong with me? I just saw I put a little bit. I thought I saw that I gotta put it on. I thought Lauren Meadows was gonna join me tonight, but I guess he decided that he had better things to do. You know, so I'm still looking for the man. See Scott Donaldson joining me. You know, and hopefully other people joining me as well. If you like what you're seeing, hit the like button. Whether it be on YouTube or Facebook. Um, and a lot of people, a lot of people are so upset right now because they want so bad. I mean, Sean Spencer, Corey Raymond, Kelsey Gomes, who's a nutritionist who left the University of Florida, um, they're gone. But Chris Couch, Darnell Stapleton, Rob Sale, who people are so livid and upset, they feel like they should be gone as well. But nothing is happening. You know, and it just I know the guys did not do a lot, but let's see here. Oh, some other interesting news. Justin Scott, the number 36 player, defensive tackle, um, in the 2024 ESPN 300. This is per ESPN. He has flipped from Ohio State to Miami. Wonder what kind of deal he got. But through it all, you know, one of the things I'll say about Billy Napier, and you can say what you will, but you know what? Here's the thing about Billy Napier. He's done a pretty damn good job at keeping our recruiting class intact. We lost a couple. All right, that's going to happen, folks. But for the most part, he's kept his recruiting class intact, and we're still the number 14 in the country. You know, so um, going forward, we're gonna hear more. We're gonna hear more about it. So about changes. But he's not done yet. I can promise you that Billy Napier is not done yet with all these um, with all these guys. It's still going to be more that's going to be happening down the road. So, conference games are this weekend. The Big Ten Championship, the SEC Championship. Other games are happening. Let's see, big news. Bobby Petrino is back at Arkansas as the offensive coordinator. Who would have ever thought of that? Um, let's see here. Jim Harbaugh is back now as the Michigan head coach after serving that 3-game suspension, just in time for the Big Ten championship game when they take on I forget who they Iowa. Yeah, they're going to take on Iowa in the Big Ten championship game. Wouldn't it be funny though that a guy like Brian Ferentz, who's leaving after the end of the season, they put up 40 on Michigan? I mean, I don't know that would happen, but you know you never know, you know. I think that would be real funny. I really and truly do. Um, let's go and start switching our gears a little bit here, and let's talk a little bit about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you know by now, they've hit the skids. I think they've lost 3 games in a row. Um, and I there's something that I want to say about all that too. Okay. Um, by the way, Kalijah Kance, the defensive lineman, the rookie, he was named to NFC Rookie of the Month for November. So congratulations to Kane. He's been playing pretty well. He's been playing really, really well. Um, let's see here. This is what I want right here. So let's see here. So the Bucs have lost their last 2 games. They beat Tennessee, but they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They lost 6 of their last 7 games, and things are at its worst point that you could ever imagine. Um, Baker Mayfield got hurt in the game, um, and so there's talk of whether or not that Baker will be able to play um, in the game this weekend against the Carolina Panthers, who ironically fired Frank Reich on Monday. Okay, now he's been hobbling with an injury, and for the Buccaneers, they feel like that he's going to be fine. In fact, there's an injury report that came out today as we take a look at it, brought to you by Carpet Direct of West Des Moines, Iowa. Levante Davis still out with a groin injury. They don't know if he's going to play. Carlton Davis, he practiced today. Jamel Dean did not play. Cervasia Dennis, he did not participate. He's sick. Yaya Diaby, the linebacker, he's been limited with an ankle injury. Baker, he was in full participation both days. It looks like that he's going to go, but Devin White is still hobbled by that foot injury, and Chris Godwin has a neck injury, but he practiced a little bit today. Carolina Panthers, their biggest player, Jonathan Mingo, who has an Achilles injury, he was limited in his practice today. C.J. Henderson, former Florida Gator great, he has a concussion, but he's been participating, so he may be ready to go. And of course, several other guys who are injured um, and might not play on Sunday. Now, I'm kind of at a loss for all this. And the reason why I say that, because all this offseason, everybody was saying, let's tank for Caleb. Let's tank for Caleb. Of course, we're talking about Caleb Banks, I think it is, the quarterback out of USC. Caleb Richardson. Yeah, that's who it is. He won the Heisman last year. And he was coming back for this year. And there was talk that Caleb may be sitting out this year. Caleb Williams, that's who it is. I'm sorry, Caleb Williams. And there was a lot of talk that Caleb Williams was going to be sitting out this year. Okay. It's not. He's going to play, and he doesn't know if he's going to stay another year or will he enter the NFL draft. So we get all these people that are saying, I think the Bucs need to lose all their games and just tank for Caleb because he's such a great quarterback. But it's just so funny how you see the mindset of fans change when they start seeing a pretty good Buccaneer team play. Especially with the way that Baker Mayfield has been playing. I mean, let's be honest about it, folks. The man has been, you know, performing at a level that we didn't think was possible with Baker Mayfield. But now, it's a situation where they are ready to say, you know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time that we give Kyle Trask a chance. Bench Baker Mayfield, give Kyle Trask a chance. Which I'm all for. Hey, I'm all for it because they need to see what Kyle Trask can do. Now, Baker was walking pretty well in the highlights that but there's still some questions about whether or not Baker would be ready to play. And now everybody's up and on because the Buccaneers have won one of their last 7 games. Buccaneer fans are up in arms. Wright has already been fired, replaced by somebody else, and now there's talk that if the Buccaneers lose this Sunday, that Todd Bowles is going to be out of a job. Where did all this come up? Have the Buccaneers been playing that poorly? No. Well. Okay. In some instances, they have, especially Devin White. He's not been playing up to perfection. He's not been playing up to par. That's probably one of the more disappointments I'm seeing. The ahve, man, that boy's been playing some great ball lately. Defensive line has been okay. The offensive line needs to get a lot stronger, a lot tougher. Cody Mock needs to just have that instinct fight in him. I haven't seen it from him yet. I know he's a rookie. But come on. I mean, if you really want the Buccaneers to lose and get Caleb Williams, this is what is going to have to happen. And you know what's further the absurdity is? Okay, are you ready for this? Let's picture yourself in a time machine back to the 1980s when a man named Bill Walsh could have possibly been the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But he entered the Buccaneer zone. Same situation's happening now. Because you have a situation where Bill Parcells could possibly lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, lead the New England Patriots to come coach the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are you freaking kidding me? I have never seen such the audacity of these reports that have just come out. It blows my freaking mind. And yes, folks, I do have a mind of my own. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. And now they got the Panthers this Sunday afternoon. Game that was flexed to 4 o'clock. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. I'm curious of whether or not they're gonna televise the game here in Des Moines. So we will have to see about that. All right, let's see here. I'm getting. Am I getting off topic here? Do you like what you're seeing? Give me a thumbs up. Let's see here right now. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, what's this here? Hang on just a second here. Let me just read something here real quick. Uh, let's see here. Uh, oh my gosh. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I did not see this. I did not see this. We'll get back to the Bucks in just a minute. Okay. Uh, Dolphins. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so during week 6, the Dolphins were taking on the Carolina Panthers. Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown, and he took the cell phone of a photographer who was shooting the game. He took the cell phone of the guy and was filming himself. And the photographer was, quote, seen excitedly jumping up and down before he left the field, and he sent the clip to the NFL. Okay. Um, both said the thing was unplanned, but the NFL said did not appreciate the way the photographer reacted after the celebration. Now, that photographer has been suspended for the remainder of the season, um, and maybe for good. Um, let's see here. He said, regardless if I knew the celebration was coming or not, I still had to be disciplined that I shouldn't have jumped on the sidelines after the play. What is he going to do? Are you freaking kidding me? Well, Tyreek Hill said he will personally pay the photographer any lost wages until he's able to come back and cover the game, cover the NFL. I think that really was a very classy move on the part of Tyreek Hill. Very, very classy. Very, 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 very classy move. Um, all right, so let's get into the NFL. What we got going on this Sunday? Seattle is at Dallas right now. Dallas is up 10-7. They're just now getting to the second quarter. We got Indianapolis, Tennessee, Chargers at New England, Detroit at New Orleans, Falcons at New York, Jets. And by the way, speaking of the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, who was supposed to be out all year long with that torn Achilles, he's back practicing. And there's a outside chance, that he could be back playing again before season's end. That's going to be interesting to see if that happens. Um, let's see here. Arizona's at Pittsburgh. Miami will be at Washington. Denver will be at Houston. Carolina, Tampa Bay. That is a 4 or 5 p.m. start on CBS. Cleveland's at the Rams. 49ers at Philadelphia. Kansas City will be at Green Bay. That's a Sunday night game on ESPN. Then on Monday night, Cincinnati will be at Jacksonville. That should be a great game. I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they will have the remaining cast on for that game. As far as college football goes, this Friday, New Mexico State will be at Liberty. Oregon will be at Washington. The Pac-10 championship game, that'll be on ABC. And we got some Saturday matchups. Oklahoma State at Texas for the conference championship game. Miami, Ohio will be at Toledo. That's on ESPN. Boise State, UNLV at 2 o'clock on Fox. Georgia, Alabama, 3 o'clock on CBS, SEC Championship game. SMU versus Tulane. Appalachian State will be at Troy for 3 o'clock. Michigan and Iowa for the Big Ten Championship game. That'll be on Fox at 7 o'clock. Louisville will take on fourth seeded Florida State. By the way, the rankings for the college football have come out. Let's see here. He's just now joining me. I guess he got late. The rankings for the playoff rankings have come out. Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State. Those are your top 4 teams. Okay. With Oregon 5, Ohio State 6, Texas 7, 8. Now, there's been a lot of controversy floating around because of the fact that Jordan Travis is out and they've had to go into a backup quarterback. The Florida State should not be ranked in the top 4. Are you kidding me? Seriously? I have never heard of that before. Since when does a player decide whether or not you're in the top 4? You know? I mean that has got to become the most ludicrous, ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm interested in getting Lauren Meadows' feedback on that. Okay, I'm very interested in getting Lauren Meadows' feedback on that. I gotta bring this up. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up for Lauren when it comes on. So we're gonna see how shocking I can make him. But that's an interesting dilemma. Should Florida State be involved in the rankings despite Jordan Travis, or Travis, whatever his name is out? I don't agree with it. They're undefeated. You cannot base rankings on a player's injury. They came out and defeated Florida, for the love of God. Okay? They're unbeaten. Tampa Bay Buccaneer mug here, you know. But where would you come off thinking that? It's crazy. I'm at a loss when I hear all this. I mean, it's just grossly insane. Now, if Louisville beats Florida State, that's then yes, that could be a moot point. Always someone that likes to be muted at some point or another. My good friend Lauren Meadows. How are you?
What's happening?
Can you hear me fine?
Can you hear me?
Oh, you just fine. Can you hear me? I know we can get now you're still. I don't know what's going on. Hang on.
You got me?
I got you. Do you have me?
Yes, sir. We on.
Can you hear me just okay, all right, that's fine. So, thank you for joining me. I've already been on for about an hour, you know, but that's fine. Love to have you on. Love to have you on.
You did. I thought we were on at 8:00 Central. Sorry.
No. I tried to move it up a little bit. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah.
So I've been sitting here rambling on, okay, and help me here. The Florida State quarterback that got injured.
Jordan Travis.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Travis. Okay. So the controversy is right now that Florida State should not be in the top 4 because Jordan Travis got injured. And
Okay.
I say to myself, when does a player decide who should be in the top four? I thought it was done by record, not by player.
Well, no, I mean when they started the college football playoff to the committees, to their defense, they did say that they would take into account because you're supposed to pick the best four teams that they would take into account, but that they would take into account injuries. So with that said, with them taking into account the injuries, then I mean that's kind of I mean they said that and that injury is huge to that offense. I mean we saw that last week where they're not the same team without him offensively, and so to get the best matchups and things like that, do you want Florida State to limp in and get blown out probably by Georgia because they wouldn't have? I mean, you and I both know Georgia would put a foot in that Florida State football team, and they probably put foot in anybody, but I just I don't like Florida. I don't like Florida State without Jordan Travis. I think they're a very pedestrian team, and you and I both. If Graham Mertz plays last week, this past Saturday, and Jordan Travis doesn't, Florida probably wins the football game based on the way everything else unfolded. If Jordan Travis wasn't there, Florida's going bowling because they're probably a 6-6 team if Graham Mertz doesn't get hurt. So I think that that's right there is evident of what he means to that team. Even though they are pretty good defensively, I'm not sure they're one of the top four teams without Jordan Travis. So that's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you with there, but my point is, um, regardless of who's playing, you're still undefeated. Excuse me, you're
Yeah,
still
but
undefeated.
are
Why
you
should
are
you?
you one are you one of the best
Why?
teams though? Just because you're undefeated? If you look at their resume side by side with other teams, are they the fourth best team? Are they one of the top four teams?
You want to know my honest opinion on that? No,
Sure.
but
Well, then,
but
then, 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 if you on
but
the committee, animal, you supposed to
but
pick the best four
but
teams.
right, but you also got to look at the record too. The fact that they haven't lost a game either, so it's a wishy-washy thing.
Yeah, but
It,
what's their?
it,
What would you say is their biggest win so far of the year?
Florida.
I mean, it's
I
arguable.
no, I don't know.
LSU,
I'm
LSU,
LSU. Okay,
first game of the
okay.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LSU was the biggest. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, after that it
hmm
was like mediocre teams left and
hmm
right. Uh, we hate to get into this, but let's go ahead and let's get it over with. Last Saturday night, the place was rocking. Make no mistake about it. It was a rocking and nobody's knocking. I mean, it was just an awesome spectacle. That first half by the Florida Gator defense was just outstanding. And then, as usual, things fall apart in the second half.
Coach Napier's got to help his football team, and you know, I think that this whole complimentary football where the defense is playing well so we can take our foot off the gas and not kind of press the issue. I just don't think it worked for this football team. And I think they were very unimaginative on offense with some of the things that um, Max Brown can do. I thought that they would kind of do some things horizontally. I mean, you're not going to beat that football team if Ricky Pearsall, who had a day against them last year, only gets 3 targets. Eugene Wilson
And
was in.
one reception. Yeah, one
Yeah, Eugene
reception.
Wilson was in the mix early, and it's like they
Uh,
sometimes forget that he's on the field. I mean, I didn't like the game plan. I didn't like the answer to why, and it's just more of the same. I mean, it's been
yeah.
24 weeks of this, and it just it's not. I mean, right now I just want to see what happens, but you know,
Well, I'll tell you, he started to make the changes. Spencer's out. Corey Raymond's
Raymond's
out.
out. Yeah, I mean,
And that was a surprise to me, given the fact how good of a recruiter he is. But recruiting is only half the story. You need to be
well, I
on
mean,
the field.
right. I mean, that's the thing I keep, we talk about it all the time, and you and I are on similar message boards or same at some time. And all these guys are talking about, well, he's a good recruiter. We need recruiters. No, you need a coach. And a good college football coach can do both. And at the end of the day, X's and O's are what win. And then when you win, recruiting takes care of itself.
That's exactly right. I totally agree with you 100%.
So,
And go ahead.
I mean, no. I mean, that's my thing is people, at the end of the day, it is still about getting in, coaching these kids up, and getting results on the field. And that's what frustrates me in my writing and talking to people is everybody's so caught up on what Billy's doing in recruiting and the Gator Made and all that stuff that has nothing to do with it when you kick off. When you kick off, football has and will always be looking a man in the eye and punching him in the face.
Yeah, true. And
I mean that and at the end of the game, who got the most points? Not who's doing the best in recruiting, not who's buying suits for the players, not who's showing up to read to the kids. At the end, all that's good. Makes you a good person. You should do those things. But none of that matters when the on the field product is as bad as it's been the past 2 years at Florida, in my opinion.
No, and I agree with you. And I agree with you. Recruiting's only half the story. You also got to be a good coach, and if you're not holding your weight, you can find someplace else to go, and that was what Billy Napier did. So we got some, as expected, the transfer portal got a little bit hot and heavy. We saw where Caleb Douglas entered the transfer portal. We saw where help me out here.
Well, let's see. There's Takial Bowman, Jonathan Odom.
Bowman announced today.
Yeah, Will Norman.
Will Norman, yes,
yeah.
That's it. And then somebody else, but we got some great news in Kim Jackson coming back, and then the news that just broke a couple hours ago. Number 15 is coming back for his senior year.
Yeah, and I that didn't surprise me. I mean,
No.
even if he would have finished the year, I think with what's out there at quarterback this year and things like that, I think he could do himself a big service by coming back and things like that. And then once he got hurt, it was either transfer portal, which technically he's used as one transfer. I guess he could graduate from Florida and then get another year. But I think if anybody owes Billy Napier anything, I would say it's Graham Mertz. I think you have seen the effect that Billy Napier has had on Graham Mertz. And, Graham Mertz is a dude. I don't know if Billy Napier has anything to do with it, but I'll give him credit for it. And, he was outstanding this year. And I think, okay. I'm really excited to see how he's going to do next year.
You just raised a very interesting point. Now I'm going to hit you with a question that's coming that you never would expect me to ask. If Graham Mertz has that effect on Graham Mertz, why does he not have that same effect on the other players?
Some kids respond differently, and quarterback is a position where it can be very cerebral and equate then to the playing field. And I think, sometimes, you could just speak the right language for the quarterback. And I think that's where, a lot of what Billy Napier does and presents Graham Mertz. Because, let's face it, there's some stuff sometimes that the Florida Gators do on offense that is really good stuff. And then there's stuff where it's like, what are they doing? And so I think just what they do kind of fits with what Mertz does best. I like the horizontal passing game. It seems to really get him in the mix. And then he has the ability to go downfield a lot better than people give him credit for. And I just think that, he speaks Mert's language. I mean, I really think he does. And, it'll be interesting to see a couple years down the road if he speaks DJ Lagway's language. And, what they do offensively as a whole, they were scoring 30 points a game in the SEC. But it's just, it never seems to come together. And like I think I've told you, I don't know. I think they get beat Monday through Thursday. I don't think they get beat on Saturdays. I think by the time they get to the game, they've already been out coached and beat before they ever get there. So I really think there's something going on maybe in the meeting rooms, in practice, but there's a lot of disconnect there in my opinion. And I don't know, because you couldn't have gone, like for instance, there's no way you could have gone into that game thinking, okay, we're going to pull the upset. And you don't force the Kool-Aid down Eugene Wilson and Ricky Pearsall's throats. How did you think you were going to pull the upset without not getting arguably two of your best players on offense involved on a consistent basis?
I'm just wondering, maybe Florida State had a game plan to really cover these guys throughout the course of the
Yeah, but then, but what about the horizontal stuff? Anything. I don't, like I said, I don't know. I don't have any answers anymore. And everything is, I was having a discussion with somebody tonight that's a lot more dialed into Coach Napier than I am. And we were sitting there talking about how some of the other coaches have become a lot more open with their programs. And, it would help if Coach Napier kind of did the same thing and was a little bit more open. So it would give people kind of an idea, media, fans, everybody, into what is, we're all left to guess, because I'm telling you, people that say they know, they have no clue. There can't be. I live here in Gainesville. There's no way that these people that, I heard that. You don't hear anything. And
well, speaking of not hearing anything, let's update people on what's going on, because with the transfer portal opening up next week, guys have been announcing left and right that they're leaving. One of the players that's really top target or top dog is Trevor Etienne or
Etienne.
Okay. There's been reports, and we've talked about it through all the course of the season, about the possibility of Travis being going into the transfer portal. Now, Nick Delatorre and Zach Alberti have both reported that
Trevor.
I get the two confused.
That's all right.
There's a report that Trevor sat down with Billy Napier on Tuesday. How that conversation went, we don't know. The latest report I have is 50-50 whether or not he'll stay.
He's a good back.
Oh, wonderful.
Everybody, no. What I'm saying is he's a good back. Everybody relax. There will always be somebody to run the football at Florida. They've got Treyon Webb. They've got Treyon Webb. They've got Montrell Johnson. I think Cam Carroll returns next year, who's a really good back from Tulane. Trevor is not Travis. Travis was generational in my book. I'm a big Travis Etienne fan. Trevor's a good back, but is he better than Damian? Is he better than Damian Pierce? I don't think so. So you're telling me he's better than arguably the guy that should have been Rookie of the Year in the NFL last year? Really?
That is a great debate.
You think so? See, then you're of that. I think we're prisoners of the moment, simply because I'm not necessarily. I don't think. I mean, is he better than LaMichael P. Ryan? Seriously, now.
But everything that I'm gonna tell you this, everything that I saw of Trevor this year, I really liked, and I thought that he ran the ball as well as he could.
Right. You can like it. Like I said, good back. I do not see him there. We have had better at the University of Florida within the last 5 years, in my opinion.
But let's also remember too. Let's also remember one thing too. He's only a freshman.
No, he's a sophomore.
Okay, sophomore.
And Damian Pierce played as and Damian Pierce played as a freshman and sophomore. I mean, I'm I'm just telling you, I don't think. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's making big money in the NFL, and you're telling me right now that he's a good back.
No, I'm saying for his time when he was at the University of Florida.
If he, like I say to people, if he leaves, he leaves. Yeah. I don't think we will be sitting here next year if he leaves and say, boy, I wish we had Trevor Etienne. I don't. Yeah. I really don't. That's just my opinion.
That's a great topic of discussion. And that's
might get me in trouble, but I'll see him out and he might say, "Yeah, you're the guy that said I'm only a good back. I had to own it, but because I live here." You
would have to own that.
Yeah, but
So we're seeing this attrition with all these guys entering the portal, and I, as a Gator fan, become frustrated seeing all these guys leave. But then I'm reminded of the fact they have to sign a recruiting class, and for every guy that leaves, they have to sign somebody to reach the roster limit. I mean, is this good? Is it everybody saying that the transfer portal is the worst thing that's happened to college football? I tend to disagree. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it.
It's the new normal, and I can honestly say I like it far more than I like whatever this NIL is, and I don't think anybody's got a handle on that. Here's the way I feel about the transfer portal. If I recruit the animal to come play for Florida, and then the animal's sitting there, but then I decide, hey, I've been in Florida a couple years, but I want to go back to my home state of Ohio, and I want to go coach at Ohio State. Well, the animal loves Coach Meadows, and he came from Iowa to Florida to play for Coach Meadows. Now Coach Meadows leaves. Shouldn't the animal maybe be able to follow me to Ohio State? So I don't have a problem with the transfer portal as much as is the fact that it seems that the transfer portal now is almost like NFL free agency, where you're going to the highest bidder and things like that. But, as far as a young man being able to transfer one time with no penalty, I'm for that. But I think you only get one. I think if you try to graduate and then go somewhere again, which they're able to do, I don't like that.
When Raymond and Spencer got fired on Monday night, one of the recruits, Phil Sami,
I think it's Fasam or something like that.
Fasam, something like that. He got on Instagram. Everybody's thinking, okay, this recruiting class is fixing to fall apart. These guys are leaving. So Sami comes on and says, nope, I'm a Gator. I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. And he said this on Instagram. So, I mean, are you coming to play for the coach or are you coming to play for the school?
Everybody's got their reasons. Everybody's got their reasons. I mean, you ask a kid from Ohio, is he going to Ohio State to play for Ryan Day? Nope. He's going for the love of the Buckeyes. Very few kids from Ohio care who the coach is at Ohio State. They going because it's the Buckeyes. So there's different reasons for different things. People pick schools. I mean, I picked my school because they told me I could come in and play as a freshman. I didn't really care who the coach was. So, I mean, there's reasons. Everybody has their reasons, but it seems like that this class, led by DJ Lagway, has committed to, being that class that I think they want to be talked about like the Spikes, Tebow, Dimps, Hernandez, that class, not Hernandez, I guess he was the next year, but like the Spikes, that class that was the transcendent class that and it sounds like that these guys want to kind of keep this thing together, so maybe one day they can have a documentary about them as well. you know
Are they thinking about bringing Brandon Spikes onto the coaching staff? Have you heard anything about that? Sounds like
no,
that would be a big
I mean,
move.
from what I understand, um, it sounds like Spikes may have an itch for coaching. It could be here at Florida, but I think his number one goal is to finish his degree. And I don't know where he is in that, but I know his arrival in Gainesville again was to finish his coursework to get his degree. So I think once that's done, then he'll have options to see what he wants to do.
These low and matters to the animal, the this edition of Animal Football Insider brought to you by the fine people at Carpet Direct here in Des Moines, Iowa. I got to thinking today, and no, the house did not burn down, but I got to thinking today, um, and it didn't hit me until somebody said that Austin Armstrong never came in till mid-February. Because Patrick Tony left and went to the Arizona Cardinals, so Armstrong was a late addition in February and had to hold on to Tony's guys, never having the chance to bring his own guys in. So, do you think that's what's happening here? This was mainly an Austin Armstrong to say, look, I need my guys to come in and start.
Yeah, it could be. It very well could be. I'm not sure that it is, but it very well could be. Like I've told you, like we talked about that day when we were in there in Columbia, there just seems to be a big disconnect on defense. There is no. I mean, they do some things that are inexplainable, that
Yeah,
make
they do.
zero sense at all. And you're like, there has to be a disconnect. There's no way everybody's on the same page. No way.
Yeah,
And so with that said, um, I just don't. I mean, there's got to be something. So yeah, it could be that you'll see some guys come in that maybe have some history with Armstrong and kind of understand what he likes to do, or maybe even guys that were mentors of his, because some people seem to be really upset about his age, which I don't think age has anything to do with it. But
no, I don't think so.
but just guys that can maybe be more of a sounding board for him, and take this thing, because obviously the young man can coach. You don't get where you are because you can't coach.
Right.
But it's all about the messaging. It's all about the presentation. It's all about those things that go into getting guys prepared to play. And I think that he has a different way of doing things. They draw it up on the board, then they go walk through. I don't know, but there's a disconnect that needs to be kind of reconnected to get that defense back, because good defenses play on a string. This guy's here, and then I follow behind, and I'm in my lane, and I'm in my run fit, and all those things. And you just don't see a lot of that. You don't, particularly in the secondary. I mean, they don't play on a string at all. And it just was a really bad defense this year, and it ain't. There's no way it's all Austin Armstrong's fault.
All right, so we know about some of the defensive guys that have gone. There may be more. Everybody's wanting Chris Couch to get a copy of the home game. They are yelling for Rob Sale to get a copy of the home game. And then Mark Hockey is also getting a lot of flack right now. Jacob Rudner of 247 reports that Hockey's contract is through 2026. He's a strength and conditioning coach. Um, but seeing the effort that these Gators put in, something's got to change.
Well, I mean, hockey. I mean, I don't think they're weak. I mean, his job is to build them up. I don't think they're physically unable. They're just not making any plays. I mean, if I was hockey, I'd say, well, I got the defensive back standing there. It ain't my fault that they can't knock the ball down on 4th and 17. I didn't run the field goal unit out there against Arkansas. I'm standing on the sideline. So, I mean, if you look at the way the muscle mass and some of the guys have put on, I mean, I wonder why hockey's. I mean, he seems a lot more involved than most strength coaches, but I know he has the associate head coach tag as well. And I know he's really close with, I believe he's coached with, I'm not going to say I know he is because I don't know that. It seems that he and Coach Napier are very close. And so, yeah, I mean, hockey is kind of in it with Napier. I think they're a package deal in a lot of ways. And I will say this, I think hockey even goes back to Mickey Marotti, who is at Ohio State, longtime strength coach at Florida, back when Florida was rolling under Urban. So, I mean, I would think that if he learned from Mickey Marotti, I'm gonna say that hockey knows what he's doing. I think that's a little, if the ball's in the air and I don't play the ball well, Mark Hockey has nothing to do with that. I'm in position to make the plays.
I get all
Yeah,
that.
so
I'm just looking at
and I've told you a million times. I like Sale. I like Stapleton. I don't think two O-line coaches has anything to do with any of their issues. Let's leave the offensive alone for about a month. The offense was not the problem. Florida was a historically bad defense this year. And we have been good on special teams for 2 years. There are so many, much bigger issues than Mark Hockey, Rob Sale, and Darnell Stapleton. Way bigger issues. Way bigger.
The only reason why I bring up Mark Hockey is all because I saw a few plays where several linemen just got their butts just thrown for on several occasions. And to be fair about it, and Sean Kelly even mentioned it to me in my interview, that, the talent that they were facing later on in the year was much greater than the early part of the season.
Yes.
Nevertheless, that we're not going to throw that out as it's true, but we're not going to throw that out as an excuse to say that's why they didn't perform. You should be performing at the highest level, irregardless. And that's why I just brought up about Mark Hockey and his status. So, I mean, but, what are you going to do? I saw something. Does Napier have a 5-year contract or is it a 7-year contract?
You know what? I'm gonna sit here. I have no idea what.
I have to look that up.
I know that his buyout, if he is I know that the buyout is quite hefty. Should he be fired within the first 3 years? I do know that. I don't know the exact number, but it is a huge payout. Should he be fired in the first few years? I do know that.
7-year deal, $51.8 million. $51.8 million.
Okay, and what's the buyout if he's?
Florida has to. Well, okay, I'm not going to trust that choice. Trust me. Let's see. Hang on.
I got to take off soon too. Sorry.
Yeah, hang on. I'll tell you in just a second here.
No worries.
Let's see. The buyout, $31.8 million. If he's fired after 2023, he would be owed $31.8 million.
Well, he ain't going nowhere. Well, he's going to get another year anyway. Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
he no, he gets 2 years. I think
yeah,
that's another 2
I was
years.
gonna say, as painful as it's gonna be, they're gonna give him 4 years, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, but I have no doubt about. I
Yeah.
have
As much as
no
people
doubt
don't
about
want to
that.
hear it, they're gonna give him 4 years. Excuse me.
SEC championship game, Georgia Alabama. Who do you have this weekend?
I will be rooting for Alabama because I loathe Georgia. And take my media hat off. I loathe Georgia. I hate everything about the Georgia Bulldogs in every sport, no matter what. So I'll be rooting for Alabama. But if you gave me $100 and told me to bet it, I bet it on Georgia.
Lauren, I wish you'd tell me how you. I wish you'd tell me how you really feel. About the same way we hate Florida State too. Hey, I know you got to run. Thanks for taking a few minutes to join me. We'll probably look you up after National Signing Day. So,
Okay, well, yeah, whenever, and if you want to talk, we got basketball coming up. We got,
got basketball.
I would encourage your viewers, the new hot team at Florida. I may regret it, but the job that Kelly Ray Finley is doing with the women's basketball team, is really good. They're 6-1 right now. Got a couple tough games. They got to go to Marshall, go out to Tulsa, but they play Michigan in the jump man, and if they should go into that 10-1, which would be big. So,
yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Hey. Go. I'm gonna let you take off, and thank you so much for appreciate it. We'll catch you later on, Lauren.
All right, boss.
And go Gators. Bye bye.
Go Gators.
Lauren Meadows joining me on this edition of Animal Football Insider. So good to have Lauren. Really do appreciate him coming on board. Okay. So we've told you about all the big games that we have coming up this weekend. Of course, we got the Buccaneer game Sunday afternoon at 4 or 5. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, because if things go like that they might and the Buccaneers lose, do not be surprised if you see Todd Bowles being fired, the interim coach puts in Kyle Trask for the remainder of the season. That could possibly happen, folks. So we're gonna see what happens here. I'm gonna take off. Get some rest before my big doctor's appointment. Check me out on Facebook for updates on that. And thank you all for joining me tonight on this edition of Animal Football Insider. My thanks to Lucas the Man Gator, and also Lauren Meadows for taking 30 minutes out of his time to join me on this edition. Now, as I leave you, we're going to take one final look at what's going on. And see if there's any news that I can bring to you right now. I'm told that the Travis Etienne thing could be happening tomorrow. We don't know yet. So we'll keep you posted on things that is going on there as well. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's been great. Y'all have a good day. And as I always like to say, that if you're not a Gator, you're primed to be Gator bait. Good night, everybody. God bless. And as I leave you, if I can here, let's see here. Here we go. Y'all have a good night, everybody. And as I always like to say, go Gators.
Thank you for watching Animal Football Insider. Be sure to join us every Thursday night here on Facebook Live.